Okay, so I've gone ahead and done it up as best I could. I just whacked a bit of mahogany gel on it, which sort of ties in with the redneck as well, so that's kind of nice. I think that's as much as I can do for that area. Obviously the concho goes in at the bottom. So I better get on to start stitching the pieces together and then actually lacing them up. So that's where we're going now. We're going to put the stitches in here. I'm thinking a crisscross stitch, holding that in there. And then obviously the lacing around the edges. So I'm going to get some thread and some needles and start on that. Some thread and some needles. So as usual, probably need this some crap off it. Fair bit to start with. Obviously you can always join it halfway through, but I like to have a fair bit to start to see how far I get, and then find a needle. I'm thinking black's going to be the way to go. That's a lacy needle, I need that later on. Slippery little suckers, trying to pick them up. That one's got a bent eye, so that one's no good. There we go. Okay, so starting on the back, because obviously we want everything to tie off on the back. Leave on a tail, and then we're gonna want to go across to the next hole down, just making sure each of the holes lines up with another hole, which it does. So across. Oh, that one's a tough hole. So on the front we're going to have the crosses, and on the back we're going to have like a bar. So that goes across there, and then we come up through the one right next to it. Making sure I leave that tail, and so that makes across and back, and then we're just going to keep going down, and on the way back we're going to go off the other side. So it's going to be crisscross on this side and bar lacing on the other. So down to the next one. Once I get a little bit of tension on it, I can, and then across to the one next to it, if I can find it. And then down to the next one again. Now I've got some tension on there, you'll see if I turn it over. But here they're just going straight across. On this side they're going to be angled down, and on the way back angled up, and you're going to have a crisscross. So I'll continue on a bit longer, and just so you can see the pattern. Just keeping that tension on. Find the next hole. Alright, so I'm just going to continue on doing that. And we'll see how far we get. So I've got down to the corner here, and I've just got to work out how to go around this. So what I've done the last one. I've come back through. What I'm thinking I might do is go across there like that to that hole again. Just try this out and put a straight one in there. Then come up the next hole. Which is a blind hole, that's why I can't find it. And I'll go through that hole a third time. And then go to the next hole. So that's going to sort of hopefully pull it into that corner and continue my pattern. And so these ones, as you can see, they keep sliding up. I'm going to try and pull them down when I do them. So now we go into this hole. And then continue on. Okay, I think that's going to work. We're only going to know when I come back the other way and if they all line up. So let's see what happens now. Alright, I'm going to continue on. To lace up left, or to sew up left, and then we're going to go back and do the cross back to the right. Alright, so I'm just going to continue on. I'll see where we go to the next corner and see if it happens again. Okay, so I've got to the end of the first direction. The holes aren't exactly the same amount, so I'm going to miss the last one on this side, but basically all I'm going to do now is go across to this last one on this side. Which is here. If I can get through, because it's quite a tight hole. Okay, we're through. And then, making sure they're all nice and snug, we go back down the other way, so creating the first of our crosses. Pull that down through there, and you'll see there's the first of our crosses. Obviously I'm going to clean this up later on, just take that little piece off so it's fairly much flush, but that's going to be under the back seat anyway. And then again across to the other side, and then diagonally down again, so you can actually see on the back here it's still straight, but on this side you can see it's starting to do a crisscross. So straight across this one, and then into the next hole, forming the third cross. It does get a bit tough because you've got some of the holes, you've got 3 or 4 pieces of thread through them now. Alright, so I'm going to go around back here and back to the first piece I left off, tie off here, and then that's that stitching done. Alright, so let's continue on. So back through the same hole, down to the next hole. Okay, and so on. So definitely, as you can see, next hole will be that one. On the back here is going to be a bit of a rough threads because they're double threads there. So I am probably going to need some sort of backing so that this doesn't rub on his paint and the back of the conchos and things don't rub on his paint. So we'll probably be adding an extra video to this one just so you can see me doing that. Alright, so I'm going to continue on. I've just run out of thread, so I'm going to spice two together. Actually, let's video that. Just going to get another big hunk of thread. Clean off, make it flat. Okay, and so we want to be on the other side. So I do one more stitch through on the diagonal to bring this back to the off side. Put new thread on my needle and then continue on with that hole, drawing all the way through, and the two tails just tie together, make a knot, and then continue on. They'll be fairly snug knots so that when you do tug on the stitches it doesn't pull the stitches through. So right over left, left over right, got a good tug. Right, just going to cut off the excess there and there so it doesn't get in my way when I'm stitching, and then continue on finding the next diagonal hole down. Little tug, and there we go. We'll continue on. Alright, I'm just going to continue doing that. When I get to the corners I might come back and show you how I do that. And show you if, we will see if my way of thinking worked, if it looks neat and that. Okay, so we're approaching this corner. Let's see if my idea worked. So it should be that one. Looks alright, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, first corner looks alright. Let's get to the next one. You can see my first join there of the cotton. Okay, coming up to this corner again. I think it's going to work. So we go through this one. I just go through this one. And then continue on. Well, that looks alright, actually. So that's all I'll do. That'll be a simple way of doing it. And back through this one. And we're running out of thread again, so go back to the off side. Actually, might do a couple of stitches more. So I don't waste thread. That one through. Come on, you can do it. Ah, what I didn't want to happen. Once it splits, it's almost impossible to get through, so snip the end off. So I need to go through this next hole anyway, because then we're going to tie it off the other side. I'll pull that one through and get more thread and continue on. Okay, well that's the stitching done there, and it's quite effective because you can actually put a bit of a bend in that stitch and it gives it, as you can see, a curve which will go over the fender quite nicely. It won't just be a flat piece, and obviously it comes down the fender and sits like so. So probably the next thing I want to do is actually start on the lacing. And then the last thing I'll do is this, because I still got to think about if I just want to glue it or we'll actually sew it in. So I'll leave it at the last because I might have inspiration while I'm doing this, the rest of this. So, but I think that's turned out okay. It looks pretty good actually so far. So to lacing. Obviously swapping needles over, I'm going to have to use a lacing needle. One here. Remembering these from when we laced the logo. Exactly the same process. Remember I used a single loop here and the double loop there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in here. I could even do single all one way and then single back the other way, having a crisscross which will go in with this. So that may be what I'll be doing. And if I did that, I could probably use two different colours, black and either red or blue, obviously. I'm not sure if I've got red or blue. I know I have white, but I don't think white look. White look alright. But that's what we'll do next. Start on the lacing. So I'm just going to go find some lace. See if I do have a different colour one as well. Then that might be a nice effect, having a crisscross left and right. Fairly similar to this. Fairly similar to this idea here, where you've got one colour going over and then the other colour coming over, so it's a bit of a crisscross. So I think I quite like that effect. So that might be what we're doing. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some. I wonder if white will look any good. White sort of goes in with a white in there, so white might be the way to go, because I do know I have white. Alright, I'll go and have a think and be back in a while. Okay, I've been away to Spotlight to see if I could either get some red dye to dye the white lace that I did have, or get some red lace. And when I was there, I found this stuff, which is it was in the jewelry section, and it's just basically cord for putting your beads on for making jewelry. And I noticed they had some red, and they actually had some blue of a different type as well. So what I'm attempting to do at the moment is see if this lace is alright. It's actually not leather, it's actually suede. So that in alone will be a slight problem in the fact that it won't be, you know, as good in the weather. And the other thing, it's rather thick. It's not like lace, which is fairly flat and just goes through quite easily. This one's actually probably almost the same width as it is thick. So I'm having a go to see if it goes around. And obviously they only had a small piece of it. I've cut it in half so that if I start coming down this side and run out, I can do the same amount on the other side, and then either use the white or the blue to do the bottom half. Just pre-planning in case I run out. That's my thinking anyway. I am having a bit of trouble getting it because it's so thick to stay on the needle. I have skived down the end of the needle, to go into my needle, but it just keeps pulling off. I get it through and then it comes off, so I'll have a few more goes at doing it. So we get the needle on, we get the pliers and just make sure that little barb digs in. Give it a bit of a squeeze, slight tug at the same time. So that should stay there, but it's not actually playing the game because it is so thick. And also being so thick, it's hard to keep it. There's not a shiny side and a dull side, so it's not really important that keep the good side out, but twists do look ugly, so I'm trying to keep the twists out. And because it's so thick, going through the holes is a bit of effort. So I started off, as you can see, with an end, and I'm just, as I said, lacing over it to hide it. No need to tie it off then. Let's go. Try and find the next hole. It's there, I suspect. There it is. And here's where it keeps coming off each time. So I pull it through. Yeah, see, and it comes straight off the needle. So it's going to be a long process if it keeps doing that. And then see if I can make sure that little tail's tucked in behind, and continue on pulling it tight. So it might work, and as I said, I'm going slanting down this side, so they're all slanting this way, and I am going to go around the other way with the black, so the black will come over, so it won't just all be red, it'll be red and black, fairly similar to the other piece I showed with the crisscross. So just a little bit of a the red bleeding through. So I'm going to soldier on and fight with this needle and well, I won't call it lace, and thonging material, and see how far I get. All right, so that's where I'm at. Let's see what happens. So try and get this thing back on again. I'm having to open up each hole because this stuff's so thick. Get it through. Make sure I'm on the right side of the loop. Try and get as many of the twists out as I can. Well, it might work actually. It might look alright when I'm finished, so. Be nice if I could have actually found some. I actually went down to buy the dye the white lace, not knowing if the fabric dye would work or not. And then I saw this stuff in jewelry, so I thought I'd grab this and see how good this is going to be. These holes are pretty tight actually. So. I'm going to try something. I'm going to cut it off where I've skived it down. Let's have the full thickness there and see if that lets it hold in. So I get the full thickness into. Ah, I missed. Try again. Alright, now let's try it. No, it's going to come off every time. It's going to be a long process. Alright, I'm going to bid you adieu and just continue on because this is going to be a bit boring for you. I'll come back when I've got a little bit more progress.